I'm just gonna show you where I've been basically for the last maybe year or two, maybe more than that. For the last year, I've been doing some stuff on Mac terminals. I didn't really think much of Mac terminals until I kind of met this guy. This is the guy that kind of made me think a bit differently, because nowadays you've got a lot of the open source people going on to doing apps, on the Mac in the same kind of way they used to develop Macs. They used to develop on Linux. This guy, if you Google this, Jose Martinez YouTube explaining why iTerm 2 is better than Mac Terminal. Right, if you look at that, you'll see straight away it's not your average box standard Mac terminal. iTerm 2 is an open source development. I can't remember the guy's name. It's another open source program, and it's combined with a whole load of open source things they've done around it, including this thing called Meslo Nerd Font, which basically includes a lot of what you used to see in a lot of the characters that you wouldn't normally get on an ASCII screen. I'll show you. I think it's easy. See, for example, you normally wouldn't see these characters in a Mac terminal. This is I think part combination of iTerm 2 and the thing around it called Oh My ZSH. ZSH, I think that says. ZSH is like a replacement for the normal Unix ZSH, which is like it's like the program that runs programs. It's kind of like the command.com in DOS, that's how I think of it. But it's a bit obviously more than that. But the point is that DOS was quite good in a way. It allowed you to have characters that had boxes on them, whereas this one doesn't really. A normal standard Mac font doesn't let you have anything like that. If you look in here, you're getting straight away, you're getting these nice rounded corners, you're getting shade characters, you're getting little cute icons for folders, and you're getting these round kind of things. You don't get that in the normal font, which you can add colors and like VT colors and stuff like that, and the tick and all this kind of stuff. And you can completely customize this, look, as it explains in that video, because it's got all these characters, has extra Unicode characters added to it. If I show you any right, this program just lists all the characters that are available, but the difference is it goes beyond the ASCII. So whereas I would normally be only showing, obviously I don't want to patronise you, but as you probably know, 127 is the limit of ASCII. The difference is that this one just goes down to whatever. That uses some like Unicode extensions to basically keep going. After that, and make sense out of it. So let's see, start character. There you go. So you're seeing all these different characters, but this is basically the Meslo font. What you've got to do is you've got to really go through the whole thing and find out. I mean, you don't have to, obviously, but the Meslo font is loaded with stuff. That's kind of like it's foreign languages, and it contains all kinds of stuff that's good. So I'll go back 104. See if I can get something to demonstrate what this is basically all about. Once you've got this Meslo font in your fonts, you can make terminal your iTerm. That video explains you made your iTerminal use that font, so it will take advantage of this font with lots of extra nice stuff in it, and then you can start making software that uses some nice characters, and it gets interesting because then you're going way beyond ASCII. It's going to take me a while to get to anything interesting. Where am I now? 8,000. Yeah, okay, I can see some. I think these are just characters from foreign languages so far. Here we go, look. Do you remember these characters at all? 9565? They are old friends from MS-DOS. As in Microsoft Bill Gates and, what's his name? Gary Kendall cheated out of DR-DOS and all that. Classic retro wars between Microsoft and IBM, and that's what changed. It was, this is what it came out as, and then all the famous Word Perfect, Lotus 1, 2, 3, there were classics in there, and they were based on these things, on these characters. But it doesn't go there. It doesn't just stop there. You haven't got this by standard, and most people don't know how to get this thing. It's that simple. It's Meslo NF, as in Meslo Nerd Font, as in the nerds would love this font, Meslo NF, and that video explains how to do it. But it goes even further than that. It's got the Commodore 64 and PET and ZX Spectrum and ZX81 characters, so you can also use that. Once you get your head around it, it does get you can do it. I mean, the point is that you've now got an open door, and it's even got actual coloured ones, but the ones that are really rich don't work all that well. The ones that work are the ones that are designed to look like normal characters. So if I now show you, right, this is basically all done using this font. So if I now show you what I've done, that kind of takes advantage. This is what I've been doing for the last year. So it's this thing called VTPainter. So what this is basically I thought, why not make a program that lets you see if I can get it, lets you paint with it, like a paint program. So this is what I've done now, and it's quite easy to use, right? This is, once you get the hang of it, this is what I've been doing. It's like a paint program, right? This one is called canvas editing mode in sprites, and all the way through it's got kind of prompts like this. So when you first load it up, it's not quite available yet, it's in progress, but bear with me. Canvas editing mode is editing a sprite frame set. A frame set can have many frames. That's why it's called a frame set. So they're basically sprites, but you can also, this thing explains everything. This is the thing. You won't understand it at first, but it doesn't matter. The point is, it explains all the steps that are involved to get you creating things with it, and then you can save everything you create into a database. So, right. So this is my little editor. I've got a little editor set up here. I'm trying to edit a sprite. I don't know if you've ever used Vim, right? In Vim, in either Linux or Unix, or the Mac, it uses exactly the same thing to run the display, because what it is in terminal, you can't, how do you put it, you can't access like the screen directly. You can't actually get it, find out what it's, you can't read it like a part of memory, is what I'm saying, because it's physically a hardware that might be divided. That's how it's modeled. It's like supposed to be connected to a computer, and the ZSH program, all it does is sends what you're typing to the remote computer, which then replies, and the terminal works out how to display it. And so it's limited in the sense that the computer's somewhere else, and what you're displaying is displayed by this idea of a dumb terminal. And it's really, really very, very, very like fundamental to everything, because all my computers are set up this way. They're all set up with the basic idea of the computers is something else, and it's the model. Anyway, I'm just traveling on, but the point is, you can see all these nice characters now, so they don't just look boring and old computer like on VT100s. You can make them look, you can make really interesting looking stuff. So like, for example, say I've got a nice that shade, I'm going through the char pal, moving it with the keys. It says all the keys are at the top, and then I can put the pen down there, pen down, and I can draw with it, pen up, and I can just move the cursor over it again. Or I can choose another one. Let's make a slightly the chunkier looking shade. Okay, so you can see I'm creating all the time. Okay, so now let's try with a different background colour. So I'm bored out. Let's have a nice yellow, and how about a nice foreground of blue? There you go. How about a nice background of yellow? So I didn't have a background of yellow. Oh yeah, yes, because it's different, right? Try that. There you go. It's because it's thick. Of course, this is limited, but this is the sprite mode, right? So now if I go and the idea is that you're meant to have different like man frames going on, so you can have like a walking, jumping frame. So let's have a new canvas, and it'll create me a new canvas. So in this will be like the frame 2, like in the sprite or whatever. But it doesn't start at that, you know. I'm not expecting you to remember this, so you can actually name them all. Let's name this canvas, I don't know, let's pretend walk 1, right? And then I move to my next canvas again, back again. Name my canvas walk 2, right? And then it just remembers, and you can add as many as you want. And this is what's called a frame set. You can have many frames in a set. But it wouldn't be much good like this. Of course, I've made one earlier, but the beauty of it comes to when you go to the manager, because of this. Welcome to manager, you can see a catalog of all your current sprites and levels. And this is where basically you come to realize that this is more like the professional adventure writer. It lets you add things and then connect them in the same sort of ways you could do on professional adventure writing. So it's exactly the same idea. You can add locations and connect them. I've added like a Commodore 64 retro style looking ready prompt, so you feel right at home on a Commodore 64. So let's load what I created earlier. Load from the. This is my Manic Miner killer game. I'm just being a bit, right, you know. And this is where you get to basically manage. That's my man, and they're all frame sets. A frame set, it's a list. You see, it would list it as a sprite. The other ones are levels, right? So, and it tells me that on the right of this one is connected to welcome, which is this one, and on the left it's connected to entry cavern. So that they're both linked to each other, and it tells me the number of links in each one. Again, it will guide you all along. So if you make mistakes, if you start say like trying to, for example, let's say I'm a man, right? For example. And the connect is where you use the connections of it. So that's where I tell it how to connect. So for example, if I wanted to connect a sprite to another, like it's a level, it will tell me off. It will tell me connect hooks up levels to levels. Because it's a sprite, you can't use it yet, right? And if you want to be really stupid and keep insisting, it will even tell you you've out displaying that connect is for levels, not for sprite 2 times. And it's, you know, it's good like that. It wants you to be good. You know, it wants you to actually understand how to use this program and become proficient at making your own world. Essentially, what this is about. It's literally just working on it, literally. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to jump straight to the key point here. Let's say I show the man, right? All it is, I've done a really simple man in here, and it's just got one frame, but that's the man. Back to the manager. I'll show you enter entry cavern. Welcome to level mode featuring different, and again it explains it to you what you're doing. So you see that the top is different now. It looks slightly different. It's got different options. Like there's this level sub mode which lets you basically, you're about to witness the power of dash, or the high phenomenon occurs from the, which was saying is that this is too large, so it will now tell you that all this that guides you is going to disappear, so you can see it. So that disappears, that disappears. So now you can get creative and do your own thing as you were before, you know, but using the entire level. Yeah, let's go back so you can see that. Give me some ideas of what it's about. Let's do the fun here. Right. So F1, give you a little dash reminder of all the keys. So it's nice and friendly. It tells you, and even flashes them up so you get your muscle memory going as quickly. It tells you this is an entry cavern frame set. So go through again. Managers, where I'll go back to my managers in case I forgot. If I try to edit the character, change the character I'm editing, it pops up as well temporarily. Excuse me. As I move, like it's the same keys as the Vim up and down, left, right keys, and it disappears when you select one. So everything's nice and friendly, so it lets you work on a canvas. The unit of everything is a canvas, and it lets you make the most use of the space to make good canvases. And the canvases can be sprites or can they be levels, and this is a level. So on the subject of which, let's see what the welcome one looks like. I haven't really done much on this one, but it was meant to be, the idea is you go right there, don't you? You go off right and then you appear this way, and then I was going to carry on building, but I've literally just got it going. So and that gives you like a flavor anyway. But the great thing is when you actually come to link it up to things. So now I'll go hook up to other levels. So this is my welcome level, says there. I want to now do like a professional adventure writer or quill link up. So I press 0. It tells me left is link, going to entry cavern. If I want, I've set this up before, but if I press enter, then it shows me the options of where I can. That purple means it was what the previous setting was. Let's say I want it to link to itself. So the left goes to itself, so you'll appear on the right hand side. You know, left, it doesn't really make sense, but you know, you can do that. This is just a database for the time being. The rules of the gameplay, that's coming next, it's the next stage, but this is just set up so all the data is in the database, so you can just easily get the data out, start using the idea of this. The next stage is to make it so you can just like use it basically. Either you make your own game, or you know, you learn how to. So that's welcome. Let's put 12. Let's make it to cavern. It doesn't make sense, but you can easily just by pressing enter, it tells you there leave connect, or just press return and it comes out, or escape when it comes out. So I can have a link to nothing for it. See, you see nothing's purple now because it knows nothing was previously selected. So let's say I want it as it should have been. Right should have been to welcome. So now that knows that should be linked to welcome. If I go back to the manager, the frame set manager, I can test it and show the connections. I also get, basically still have that connection there, so I can do it from here as well to make it more convenient. And that confirms there, that thing confirms your right goes to welcome. If I say left, go into entry cavern. As soon as I press escape, it's shit. There should have been something. Let's see what's happened there. There's a bit of a bug there I need to sort out. Something didn't quite work out. Because this new, what I've done is I put this in this bit before. I haven't done it before. So I think it must be missing some information anyway. It's a bug there. So let's load up the. Right, so for what? Let me see if this works. Right, welcome. Let me try it again and see if it works. Connect. So I want to connect the left to entry cavern. Right, it's linked up here. If I press escape, it should. Oh no, I still got the bug. Right, let's try another way. Trace trap. Let's try it down. Let's see if this works better. It's a bit works in progress, but the ideas are there, you know. So let's load the database up again. Right, because you can also do it from here. So right, welcome. If I go in here, I can also link it up from here. I think it probably works if I do it from here. So left, back to entry, back to itself. So this is entry cavern, left back to itself, right to welcome. Do it like that. You can link it up like that. So if I press escape, it's gone a bit funny, isn't it? No, it's got a bug somewhere. That bit doesn't work, but you can see it did work because they were set up before. So there's kind of a glitch that's coming up because I did that before using this thing, so it wasn't me bullshitting. It was there. I set up those things. If the idea was that would come up saying left, blah blah blah, right, whatever was linked to those things, these would, see, if you don't put anything new, it works. But as soon as you add something new, it crashes. Well, it's just some kind of a trace error or something like that. But it doesn't matter because it's showing you the idea. You can add more levels, you can add more frame sets, new frame set, a new level. So I can now get creative and give this a name. You've renamed the frame set number 8. I don't know, wacky, what they call amoebatrons, wacky, I don't know, wacky DSS people, whatever, wacky DSS people. That's a good one, isn't it? Level. So I can then start editing that level. Welcome to Barry Blah, blah, blah. And just to show you again that I'm not bullshitting, I'm going to try to make some kind of a level for you as I'm doing it. So let's go back to witness, background 2, some red, select chart, actually paint level. Which one's the large brush? I don't want to do it all. Large brush, a dot. It's great for your kids, you know, you can show your kids how to, you know, how to create things, which makes them not your usual Minecraft kind of thing. Could be interesting. So I'm creating a bit of level. And Minecraft's quite good, I've heard. Right. But it's that kind of thing, you're basically, except that you're linking it in a way that makes sense for a game. This Minecraft is just, I don't think it's as, like a general purpose as letting you code the game. Was this basically would put you in a position where you could add the code to the game and just use the database to you know, to literally up a brush. You know, your kids will be you'll be showing your kids make the game, and then maybe you could, because if you can program it, and I don't see why you shouldn't. I mean, you're clever enough, you could do it. This makes it easy. My goal is to make this so easy as you can just use this database and start getting in the entry points, as they call it, and but it's general purpose. I mean, that's just the beginning. This could be like, for example, an adventures graphic. Why not? I mean, I haven't done anything that looks that great here, because I haven't really spent much time drawing. I've just spent time trying to make it work. But I could have done, you know, showing that it's potentially capable of good things. I mean, if people can do good looking stuff with just ASCII and these colours, this breaks through for artists that can not mind and like the retro look. This basically is for artists who want to have those extra characters that MESLO NF gets you. Right, so come out, like a DSS people. I'm not going to try linking this time because I know what happens, but that's that welcome level, entry cavern, like a DSS people. You're getting the idea. So back to my man there, that's my man. Right, what show you? Right, the last thing that's important here, I'll show you that as soon as I've saved that I don't really want to save it. That's the thing. I don't really want to save it because I'll overwrite. You see, can I do that? Will it not make any difference? So I'm going to save it, right? I'm going to save it and show you that it works, because I think it's only fair, since you're watching me, believing me, that I've done something that actually makes you like a database creator, because that's the whole point of it. Otherwise, without saving, you couldn't be able to add more stuff to it. So it's save. Go for the save DB, right? Save DB ready, blah blah blah. So that's actually in the disk at the moment. I'm going to now go to wacky DSS people and quit. Right, if I do ls, yeah, what's happening? This happens when you get like a crash, and it messes up the window display. Let's see. There we go. Right, so now we can carry on here. Let's start fresh. Yeah, and there's also a way you can switch off all these prompts as well. I thought it'd be good to leave it on because it gives you the idea that it's trying to help you. You can like add no annoying prompts or no beginner prompts or something like that. I don't remember what I did, to be honest. Let's try to load that database. So, image killer. Yeah, wacky DSS people, there you know. So that welcome to level. There is one other thing that I should really cover, because obviously there's going to be some times that you want to go treat in your game. You're going to want describe certain tiles to be special things. So like, for example, there might be portals or there might be areas you can actually walk through, whereas most of it would just stop your man moving, right? So there's a markup mode for that. Let's see if I do F1 again. I can show you what it says. Level sub mode paint. If you do, this is, it tells you all the keys, you know. That's your chart, so that's the move. If I do semicolon, this is the markup mode. Lets you, again, it's explaining everything, you know, so I want you to be good at this. I don't want you to sit there and go, bloody hell, you know, what is this mess? It's actually quite, I want it to be a friendly thing so you can make your own stuff. And if you now like select characters, but you don't select characters because now you're doing markups. So let's say I want some of it to be passed through. So I'll put it into large mode, the brush, and I'll paint that as markup pass through. So then that's saving that in the database. The markup gets saved with it. Now if I kind of toggle back, you know, that area there, I've saved the markup for that as pass through, so you could pass through it. So when you're man, you'll be able to kind of ask you know, the APIs, what does that, is that character movable, or is the sprite movable, can it move right, or whatever. It would know from this because it's saved in the database. What else? Right, I think that takes us on to the subject of, oh yeah, there's one other thing. If you do equals, it shows you flash mix, so you can make it a bit friendly. It just shows you, you know, just encouraging you to do more with. And there's another thing that helps you as well, the status, status. What does it? Yeah, it states, yeah, it's the status, that one there. Quote, if you do status, it will show you a little XY on the thing, so you can actually follow where your cursor is, so you can line them up properly. So you do that, status on, and it's showing you the XY. So if I'm going back now, I know that I'm on the same XY, you know, nice and helpful for building your stuff, that you're on the same kind of, you know, platform or whatever. And that's what the idea of it is, of the status. So I can switch that off. And you notice, as Steve Jobs might say, please note that the status of what is changed flashes whenever you press it, so that it's reminding you that the status has now switched to on, the status has now switched to off, stuff like that. So it's quite nice and friendly. So now let's try doing the clever stuff. Let's try doing the. This is taking me today until today. I spent a year doing it, and I still haven't done anything good. All right, until today. This is the first time I've had anything to show for the last thing I've been working on. So I'm going to go back to manager mode. Right, I'm going to go into that wacky DSS people I just created, and I'm going to do a test of frame set. The idea is that you start with a level, and that it will try to give you like a way of testing it with a person in it, with one of your sprites in it. So if you press escape, right, choose your guy, it tries to work out what your sprite is going to be. So you can, you know, select another sprite, but there's only one sprite. Yeah, so it tells you if you can move to another one, there isn't any. So the one that's selected is man. Enter, make it so. We're going to try wacky DSS people with this guy. So here he is. Right, performing level test. Let's get to exit. So the idea is, it doesn't work at the moment, so don't get all, you know, but the idea is that, like for example, where you design markup you can go through, it would know that you couldn't go through it, you know, so it would follow some of the rules, and then when you go to the right, for example, I think there's a bit of a bug with that, is that shouldn't be there, because I was doing it quickly, it didn't quite clear the screen in the right time, so I think there's a bit, normally I'd take time and didn't catch that one, but anyway, to show you that this is, let's try the welcome now, let's try a test on the welcome. It'd be good in a way if I had another one to test it with, but it doesn't matter. Wacky DSSP, I shouldn't have done that, should I? I was going to. Oh no, I think that's escape, and that gets around the bad. But it's interesting because it worked that time, so there's some kind of obscure bug going on here. Left did go to welcome DSS. to the. So let's try left. So like for example, left I would want to have was welcome. Right. You see, it's just started to work by itself. So welcome, make it right. It's good because it shows I'm not a shyster, you know. Right would go to Wacky ZSH people. They both go to Wacky ZSH, but there is about it. No. Left I want it to go to entry cover. How about that? Left entry cover, right Wacky ZSH. That should work. Oh yeah, no, there is a bug, isn't there? There is a bug. But you can see kind of it did work, didn't it? So there's a little bit of a glitch. It's not like a smell the problem. It's good that you can save things, though, isn't it? Manic Miner Killer database. So that one didn't get saved, did it? Probably good because it'll probably corrupt it. Right. So the next most important point is so that hasn't got that thing there, has it? If I actually wait for this to disappear properly, or if I actually just don't wait and do the test here, I think you're probably going to see that there isn't that ... thing. Yeah, there isn't. So it's something that occurred while switching around. It was a bit of a glitch. That's a ... shouldn't be, but it was quite good, isn't it? It looked like something, didn't it? I mean, to be fair, it looked like it was part of the Manic Miner level, the one with the kangaroos. You can't go right here. I haven't defined anything that happens. I've literally just got him to move over tiles. But you can see I didn't just make this up. I took this out of the database. Yeah. The idea is that when I'm done, is that you can then make your own database that makes all the like a game world. You can have your monsters in it. So I think I probably, to be fair, should show you another creation, should I? Just to give you the creation thing. Let's make another frame set here. New frame set. What do you want? Is it a sprite or level? So let me call this like a monster. Just to be rename. Which one was it? Rename frame set. Hey, monster. Right. Edit that. Yep. So let's have this some kind of a bug looking thing. Yes, that's two little eyes. The blue body or something. Maybe. I'm getting creative again. I'll stop at aspect 2. No, actually, the 2. Right, you notice that this works is a lot like what Vim is. If you've ever used Vim, it should feel quite familiar because Vim uses exactly what this is using. It's called curses, and the thing that runs it is the same thing that runs Vim. It should feel quite familiar if you've used Vim. That's the idea. If you're a Vim man, you're gonna be on ecstasy basically. I was into games, old retro games, and European man, I suppose. Receive background, 7, ink. I was into Spectrum and Commodore 64 when I was young. Background 7. Yeah, there we go. So I put like a little arm there. To put a space, you just have to go to the end thing. And pen up. Let's put the other arm. There you go. Bit weird looking. Just do them long lengths just because it doesn't take forever. I've got to kill my life. Foreground. Speaking of which, I've got to go now, so I won't be able to put any update on any of this for a long time. I've actually got to move today. This is today's move day for me, so this will be the last time you're gonna get this kind of thing for a while. But I'm hoping that it's going to give you a taster of what's to come, and it's possible to do with this is done with Xcode and Objective-C using curses as the engine. Hopefully it's giving you enough of a taster. Enough of a taster you can actually test that monster. Hopefully, let's see if I can test that monster in the entry cabinet. Let's see what that does. Right, choose your guide, possible avatar. Right, didn't work, did it? Oh, it did. It worked the other way. Previous, right? So I think I got the keys wrong around. I thought it didn't work. That would have been quite disappointing. You would have thought Pablo Contreras is a horrible person. I've done that, wouldn't you? I bet you would have been like, Pablo Contreras is horrible. And you would have been talking to other people too. Anyway. Yeah, so you can do. I choose my monster now. Let's put the monster and start testing it with the return. Yeah, there you go. So hopefully Pablo Contreras will. Tell you what, I hope you find that quite interesting. The idea is that when this, for example, this thing, it could be like a portal. So you could define this as a portal. You could use the markup mode, right? To you could use the markup. I didn't have time to put the keys in this thing. I was literally that rushed to do it. You could put this white areas in markup. You could tell it this is portal 1, and then in the database you would have like an API call to say tell me when this is a portal, or go to, it'd be like object oriented kind of code that you tell it, is this a door, or what door does it go to, what stuff like that. So you could it's not just off left and right, up top and bottom. You could make portals within the level itself that you could get to and access other hidden levels. That's the idea, and the API would give you an easy way to query everything in the database, so you could kind of like add more code to it. The idea is, I think that will be demonstrating how it works with an actual like Manic Miner type game in the first place. As I'm doing it, I'll probably define the API, because that's kind of the next stage now. But this is basically what like the pour is, if you like, the pour without being able to test the database, if you know what I mean, without running the game. And this took me like a year, so believe it or not, I've been doing it yet. Literally just got it to run it all. Hopefully that's giving you something. If you like it, let me know. It's with Xcode. You need a Mac, basically. It doesn't have to be like a brand new one, but it helps if there's a decent one. And it's using a thing called cursors, the same what Vim uses. And when I've got time, I haven't got time now because I've got to go. I've literally got to pack everything and go. When I've got time, I'll go through and try and, the next stage is to go through and make the code so it does something useful, because that all I've been doing is making that let you edit things, you know, like the Photoshop part. And speaking of the Photoshop part, let me show you it's got some added features. Like for example, I want to scroll, right? I can also do that, stuff like that, you know. It's got some power. It's not just an annual Tom, Dick and Harry thing. You know, you press S. Right, if I want to resize it, for example, I think I've got a key for resize, but it's hidden. I think it's, yeah, I just hid the key for some reason. I want to resize it. Let's put, at the moment it's, the height's 32. Let's make the height 20. And let's make the width 80. So it works out like Photoshop does. It does actually work a bit like a paint program. And if I want to make that big, let's make it bigger. Height 28. I don't want to go too far off limits because I haven't really tested any limits. 90. You see, now it's added blank in the same kind of way as Photoshop does. Let's scroll that. Oh, I think that was a bit too quick there on the keyboard. That's what happens if you press it too quick. If it doesn't get that. Anyway, scroll. Yeah, scroll didn't wait because it obviously didn't quite catch the change quickly enough, because it kind of tries to read it at the same time. But if you do it slowly, it will work. It's not one of those things. Right, scroll off there. Right. Let's go back to welcome. Let's go back to that one we had before, Wacky DSS. Let's try that. Let's try resize on that. AG. Okay, maybe I'm not even sure what happened. Maybe it has to clear the thing before. Maybe some of this is just not quite defined yet. Let's try resize here. Yep. Yeah, I think some of it. Yeah, it's not. I think it's not kind of refreshing around it. And that's probably something like, because I haven't retested too extensively, as you can probably tell. 40. Yeah, if it's not displaying, it's not. It should have cleared the screen basically. Let's try a bit bigger. 4. Yeah, let's do it 30. Or just press return to leave it. Yeah, because inside it's all right. Outside, so if you actually go inside now, you'll probably remember exactly what you should be doing. Yeah, it just didn't clear the screen, did it? So it has got some Photoshop type power. Hopefully this is giving you something. And if you want to actually know what the codes are from here, I'll tell you as well. So let's say the reveal code, the reveal character number. If I press R while I'm on it, it will tell you that's in your code. You can use it as like a wide character. It's called a Unicode wide character. Curses wide character, because curses has got two different versions. The original curses, which is just for ASCII, and then they brought out new updated curses. So if I show you, oh, character under curses 32. It can't be 32. 32 space, isn't it? Try again. Yeah, I think maybe I haven't got that right as well. Yeah, no, it's not 32, is it? It should tell you like the cursor, but no, that other thing, that could be right. Most of it's 32, but it's not lined up right. It's not. This one didn't work either. I haven't used that for a very long time, to be honest. But when it works, it will tell you, because basically it does have a curse. It does have a lot more. Nowadays, the new curses, they've upgraded it a bit, so it does give you wide character support, but it's quite tricky to make your programs use wide character support. And it's not impossible. There's lots of different H files and stuff like that don't necessarily all agree, and you've got to work out how to kind of hack it. But you know, once you get it compiling, it's usually pretty easy. Once you work out what the H file is of the cursors, and hopefully that's with that, it will tell you what that number was. So, like for example, if I did that, instead of telling you that, it will tell you. Let's see. Show charts. Right, let's try this one. Right. I think maybe I need to just quit that. Yeah, it will show you basically. Will show you this. All these numbers. So rather than going through like one at a time trying to find them out, you could get them off and put the character number in there, wide character 9, blah blah, whatever it is, and put that in your game or whatever if you wanted to. But in all fairness, I'll try to make it so you don't have to do this. I'm trying to make it so that you just get like a sprite. The idea is that you make a sprite, you tell it use that sprite, that database in there, and make that your sprite, and then connect it to this level and start. Make it do this. Can I go right? Blah blah. And that's what the game code is going to look like. Make it do a dance, make it jump, make it pick up. And, so you end up basically just writing fairly high level code, and not really access characters. Because if you did a game like this, is what I found. Is if you tried to write something that was good using these, you'd be like forever trying to nitpick what characters you're writing. You wouldn't feel any kind of a game. But this kind of gets around it. This is the idea, is to actually make it so it's nice and friendly, so you can just use it like you would anything. And in a way, it's more creative than graphics itself, because graphics itself makes you, on the Mac, is quite a headache. There's different resolutions, there's different retina mode or not retina mode. there is a lot of power there. You've got to really understand how Apple they've designed things to use Retina, to not use Retina, how they scale, and it's a nightmare. That's why you don't get so many good games on Macs, basically. Anyway, I hope that's given you something.